ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், பெரியாழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாதர முனிம் ரம்ய ஜாமாத்ரி யோகீந்திர பாத ரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜம் முனிம் பஜே. லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாதே யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மத் ஆச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். யோனித்தமச்சுத பதாம்புஜே யுக்மருக்ம व्यामोहदस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकिसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातापिता युवते स्तनयाभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्मयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपते रघुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगळं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं जलश्च महतः वये भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखर योगिवाहन् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरण प्रकाल यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यं. गुरुमुखमडदीत्य प्राह वेदानशेषान् नरपतिपरिक्लुप्तं शुल्कमादातुकामः श्वशरमवरवन्द्यं रङ्गनाथस्य साक्षात् द्विजकुलतिलकं तं विष्णुजित्तं नमामि. மின்னார் தடமதில் சூழ் வெள்ளிபுத்தூர் என்னொருகால் சொன்னார் கழக்கமலம் சூடினோம் மின்னாள் கிழியறுத்தான் உழைத்தோம் கீழ்மழை சேரும் வழியறுத்தோம் நெஞ்சமே வந்து பாண்டியன் கொண்டாட பற்றபிரான் வந்தான் என்று இந்திய சங்கம் எடுத்துத வேண்டிய வேதங்களோதி விரைந்து கிழியறுத்தான் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய 10. We are enjoying the simple meanings in English for periyAzhwAr Tirumozhi. Vishnuchitta Alvar, periyAzhwAr, he has composed 2 prabandhams, Tirupallandu and periyAzhwAr Tirumozhi. Among those, we are now enjoying periyAzhwAr Tirumozhi. We are into the 4th centum. periyAzhwAr has enjoyed Krishna beautifully almost for 300 pAsurams. Towards the end of 3rd centum, he started enjoying Ramavataram and KrishNavataram together, and then he enjoyed Ramavataram, specifically Hanuman meeting Sita and sharing the old memories. That particular aspect was enjoyed. And then in the beginning of 4th centum, Bhagavan's different incarnations are enjoyed. And then in 2 padigams, 2 decades, Thirumozhi, Alagar Bhagavan, swAmy, his anubhavam was enjoyed by periyAzhwAr. He enjoyed the Thirumozhi mountain as well as the Bhagavan who is present there. After that, now he is moving on to Tirukoshtiyur Dividesham, Goshtipuram, Tirukoshtiyur, that is the Dividesham which is being enjoyed in the 4th centum, 4th decade. nAvakAriyam Solliladavar. In this decade, this Goshtipuram, Tirukoshtiyur Dividesham is enjoyed by periyAzhwAr. This Tirukoshtiyur is a divine kshetram where Bhagavan is present in the form of, in the mood of Narasimha. So periyAzhwAr is also enjoying that particular aspect in this Dividesham, in this padigam. In the introduction section for the commentary of this padigam, Manavada Mamnigal beautifully explains the connection between Thirumozhi and Tirukoshtiyur, how periyAzhwAr switched from Thirumozhi into Tirukoshtiyur. In the previous 2 decades, Thirumozhi Bhagavan is enjoyed in context of Ramavataram and KrishNavataram and other avatarams of Bhagavan. And after doing that, periyAzhwAr gets reminded about Narasimha Avataram, especially where he helped Prahlad. While his own, Prahlad, own father became an enemy, Just because Prahlad was engaged in glorifying Bhagavan's divine names, Bhagavan appeared as Narasimha and beautifully combined the human and lion forms and manifested his greatness and killed Hiranyasura. Because of this reason, periyAzhwAr connects such Narasimha Bhagavan with his form and mood in Tirukkottiyur Dividesham and enjoying that Bhagavan. Also, this Tirukkottiyur is the place where Selvanambi was the minister in the Pandya king's court. That Selvanambi was also living in this Tirukkottiyur and serving Bhagavan here. Abhimanadungan Selvanai Pola. In that pasuram also in Tirupallandu, Alvada Kondrivilla, Anikoti Erkon, Abhimanadungan Selvanai Pola. In that pasuram, Anikotiyur, that Tirukkottiyur Dividesham is identified, and Abhimanadungan Selvan, that Selvanambi is identified. This Selvanambi is a great Sri Vaishnava, a very inspirational Sri Vaishnava. Even periyAzhwAr says he likes to serve like Selvanambi. So that is how great Selvanambi is. Even periyAzhwAr is inspired by Selvanambi. So that Selvanambi's abode, even though he was born in Perungarunai, which is a village near that region, he seemed to have spent a lot of time in Tirukkottiyur as well. So that connection also resonates for periyAzhwAr. So he is singing about this Tirukkottiyur Dividesham. We've also seen previously that Parashara Bhattar came to Tirukkottiyur and stayed here for some time when he had some misunderstanding with the king in Srirangam. Just like Kuratalwan stayed in Tirumalirinjolai for some time, Parashara Bhattar stayed in Tirukkottiyur for some time. So this Tirukkottiyur Dividesham is very special in many different ways, and the residents of this Tirukkottiyur Dividesham, they are said to be great hosts. They treat their guests really well, apparently, as explained in this Padiham. We shouldn't say apparently, because it is the truth. The people of this Dividesham greatly welcome guests, honor them, serve them to their full satisfaction, even at the cost of their own discomforts. So that is the greatness of this town. Also, we know that incident where Bhagavad Ramanuja goes to Tirukkottiyur Nambi, Goshti Purna, who was born in this Dividesham, who is a great devotee and is a great disciple of Adavandari Yamunacharya. He is the one who teaches Charma Shlokam's intrinsic meanings to Bhagavad Ramanuja. But he makes Bhagavad Ramanuja walk to Tirukkottiyur from Srirangam for 18 times. And finally, he teaches that essence of Charma Shlokam, Gita Charma Shlokam. And then only Bhagavad Ramanuja reveals that secretive information to those who requested him for that information, for that knowledge. And because of that, Goshti Purna, Tirukkottiyur Nambi, gave the honorary title Emberumanar, which means one who is greater than Emberuman. Emberuman is Bhagavan. Emberumanar means one who is greater than Emberuman, that is Bhagavad Ramanuja. So that is a special honor which was received by Bhagavad Ramanuja, after coming to Tirukottiur and revealing the secretive Charma Shlokam to those who requested him that information. So this is a brief history about Tirukottiur. Also, Vannamadangal Soul Tirukottiur. periyAzhwAr started this whole periyAzhwAr Tirumozhi from Tirukottiur only. He assumed that Tirukottiur is the birthplace of Krishna. So that is another speciality here. So now, after going to Thirumozhi and enjoying the Bhagavan there, periyAzhwAr is coming to Tirukottiur to enjoy the Bhagavan here. Also, this is same as Thirumozhi as well. He sung in Periya Tirumozhi, first Thirumozhi Bhagavan, and then he also sings Tirukottiur Bhagavan. So it's similar to Thirumozhi's experience as well. So let's go to the decade. First pAsuram, nAvakAriyam solliladavar, நாள்தோறும் விருந்தோம்புவார், தேவகாரியம் செய்து வேதம் பயின்று வாழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர், மூவகாரியமும் திருத்தும் முதல்வனை சிந்தியாத அப்பாவகாரிகளை படைத்தவன் எங்கனம் படைத்தான்களோ. In the first several pasurams, periyAzhwAr is scolding those who are not attached to Bhagavan, who is present in this Dividesham, Tirukottiur. Those who are not devoted to Bhagavan, those who are not attached to Bhagavan, the periyAzhwAr is asking, why did Bhagavan even create them? Why did even they were born in this world if they are not going to praise and glorify Bhagavan in Tirukottiur? That is the pasuram here. nAvakAriyam solliladavar. Akariyam means forbidden acts. Na means tongue. For the tongue, what is forbidden? What is not to be said? Those words were not spoken. Solliladavar means those who do not speak such words which are not fit to be spoken by Sri Vaishnavas. Usually, Sri Vaishnavas means they should talk very pleasantly. They should only speak truth. They should only speak what is related to Bhagavan. They should only speak what is related to Alvars, Acharyas. This is what Sri Vaishnavas should be speaking. Anything other than this, they are not fit to be spoken. So, nAvakAriyam, whatever is not to be spoken, those who are not speaking. Such Sri Vaishnavas, நாள்தோறும் விருந்தோம்புவார். Every day they feed Sri Vaishnavas, guests. Devar Karyam செய்து. Before that, they will do Tiruvaradhanam, Bhagavadaradhanam. Sometimes we have this sequence changed in the Pasurams due to poetic beauty. So here we have to say that they first do Bhagavadaradhanam and then they honor guests by feeding them sumptuously. Vedam Paindruval Tirukottiur, those who are fully learned in Vedam and they spend their time reciting the Vedam. In such Tirukottiur, the one who is present, Moovar Karyamum Tiruttum Mudalvanai, the one who takes care of all the activities of Moovar. Moovar means three personalities, Brahma, Rudra, Indra. These are the three primary devotees. So their tasks, their needs, they are fulfilled by Bhagavan, who is Sriman Narayana. Such Lord, Sindhiyada, those who don't even think about such Lord in their mind, in their heart. Apavakarigadai, those sinful persons who are not thinking about Bhagavan. Padaitavan, one who created them. It is same Bhagavan. Yanganam Padaitangolo. How did he even create them? Why did he create them? If they are not going to be singing the praises of Tirukottiur Bhagavan. That is the meaning of the first pasuram. In the commentary, Manavada Mamnigal has brought out very beautiful incidents just for that nAvakAriyam, what is not to be said by the tongue. For that itself, many beautiful incidents are narrated. What is the apt thing for the tongue to do? It is the names of Bhagavan. So that is to be said by the tongue. That is what is fit to be spoken by the tongue. That too, what is dear to our acharyas. For example, one incident is shown. In the final moments, Anantalvan, he was asking, what is the name which is very dear to Parashara Bhattar? What is the name of Bhagavan which is very dear to Parashara Bhattar? At that time, those devotees there, they were saying, Adigiya Manavalan. The name of Ranganatha in Sri Rangam is Adigiya Manavalan. Jamatru, Ramya Jamatru. So, when Anantalvan heard that in his final moments, he said, let me just think about this divine name constantly because it is very dear to Parashara Bhattar. So, what is dear to our acharyas is proper for us to be recited, everything else to be given up. And similarly, during the final moments of Alvar Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar, who is the divine son of Yamunacharya and is one of the acharyas of Bhagavad Ramanuja, when Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar was about to ascend to Parampadam, Bhagavad Ramanuja came and he asked Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar, what is going on in your divine heart? What are you thinking about? At that time, Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar says, while there are many names for Bhagavan, I am thinking about Thiruvarangam, Srirangam. That is the name which is stuck in my mind. I am only thinking about that. Just in 4-5 syllables, what a beautiful name it is, says Thiruvaranga Perumal Arayar. So there are incidents like this are shown. And also another incident, when Baduganambi was present in Srirangam, at that time, one person came and said the Ashtaksharam. At that time, Baduganambi closes his ears and says, when Ramanuja is there, why are you talking about Narayana? I want to only speak about Ramanuja and speak about and hear about Ramanuja. I don't want to hear about Narayana. That is how much they were in Acharya Nishta. Baduganambi and others were in Acharya Nishta. So he was saying the proper thing for the tongue to do is to recite Ramanuja, not even Narayana. So in this manner, this what is fit to be spoken by the tongue is explained in different ways. That is what is shown in this pasuram, that these Sri Vaishnavas in this Trikoshti Dividesham, they don't speak anything unfit to be spoken, and they are always engaged in Bhagavad Aradhanam and Tadi Aradhanam, and they are engaged in reciting the Vedas. And such Lord who is present in that Dividesham is the one who creates and takes care of all the needs for Brahma, Rudra, and Indra, and so on. If anyone is not thinking about such Bhagavan, then what is the point of their life? Says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. And why did even Bhagavan create them? Asks periyAzhwAr. That is the first pasuram. Second pasuram. குற்றமின்றி குணம் பெருக்கி குருக்களுக்கு அனுகூலராய் செற்றமொன்றுமில்லாத வன்கையினார்கள் வாழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் துற்றியேழு உலகுண்ட தூமணிவண்ணன் தன்னை தொழாதவர் பெற்றதாயர் வயிற்றினை பெருநோய் செய்வான் பிறந்தார்களே. In this pasuram, Alvar is even more angry. Those who are not worshipping Sriman Narayana, he is saying they just caused disease for their mother's womb because they are not fulfilling their purpose. They just came out of their mother's womb and gave trouble for them. So that is the concept here. Kutramindri, not having any faults. Gunam, the good qualities like Shamam, Dhamam, that is controlling internal senses, controlling external senses. Periki, increasing them. குருக்களுக்கு, for their acharyas, அனுகூலராய், being apt to engage in கைங்கரியம். So these Sri Vaishnavas in Tirukottur, they are like that. They are always increasing their good qualities, not having any faults, and they are always engaged in serving their acharyas. Setram ondumillada, they are not having any jealousy towards anyone. Vankayinargal, those who are having generous hands, these Sri Vaishnavas, world, they are residing Tirukottur, in this Tirukottur Dividesham, and Bhagavan is present there. Yedulagu Tutti Unda, which Bhagavan? It is Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. There is only one Bhagavan in reality. That Bhagavan is Sriman Narayana. Yedulagu Tutti Unda. He took all the worlds and made it as a handful and consumed that. Tumani Vannan Thanai. Such Bhagavan who is having beautiful dark gemstone like complexion. Such Bhagavan, thOthAthri, those who do not worship such Bhagavan, Petratayar Vaitinai, the womb from where they were born, Perunoi Seivan Pirandargal, they just caused trouble for their mothers by staying in their womb and hurting them, harming them, giving them trouble. For 10 months they stayed there. But after coming out, they are not even thinking about Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. So they have only born to cause trouble for their mother's womb, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Third pasuram. Vannanan maniyum maradagamum aluthi நிழலிடும் திண்ணை சூழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் திருமாலவன் திருநாமங்கள் எண்ணக்கண்ட விரல்களால் இறைப்பொழுதும் எண்ணகிலாது போய் உண்ணக்கண்ட தம் ஊத்தை வாய்க்கு கவலம் உந்துகின்றார்களே. Again he is very angry on those who are not worshipping Bhagavan, not thinking about Bhagavan even for a moment. So that is the theme of this pasuram as well. Nalvannam, having beautiful complexion, maniyum, precious gemstones, maradagam is emerald stone, aluthi, embossed, they are all placed. நிழலிடும் திண்ணை சூழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் திருமாலவன் திருநாமங்கள், the porch, the veranda, which is very shining due to being embossed with all the precious gemstones. Such verandas, they are filled, they are present in abundance in this Tirukottur Dividesham. Many homes, many mansions have this front yard which is just there for resting of people. So in that Tirukottur, Thirumal avan thirunamangal. Thirumal means one who is the divine consort of Sri Mahalakshmi. His divine name, such Bhagavan's divine names, Yannakanda, created for counting, Viralgadal, these fingers are given to count the names of Bhagavan, Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, like that, to count our Bhagavan's names. These fingers are given. But இறைப்பொழுதும் எண்ணகிலாது, not thinking about and not counting those divine names even for once. போய், staying away, உண்ணக்கண்டதம் ஊத்தை வாய்க்கு, for those who are having dirty mouth and they are just eating to sustain their body. For those mouths, கவலம் உந்துகின்றார்களே, they are pushing so much food, handful of food continuously they are pushing. What a tragedy. Why are they doing it? Why are they even eating? If they are not going to recite Bhagavan's names, why should they even eat, says periyAzhwAr. Next pasuram. உரகமெல்லனையான் கையில் உரை சங்கம் போல் மடவண்ணங்கள், நிறை கணம் பரந்தேறும் செங்கமல வயல் திருக்கோட்டியூர், நரகநாசனை நாவில் கொண்டு அழையாத மால்ட சாதியர் பருகு நீரும் உடுக்கும் கூரையும் பாவம் செய்தன தான்கொலோ. Very important pasuram. Deep philosophical principle is shown here. உரகம் எல்லனையான் கையில் உரை சங்கம் போல். மட அன்னங்கள், the humble swans, very obedient swans which are present in that Dividesham, they are appearing like the Panchajanyam, Sri Panchajanyam, that is the conch, this white conch, which is held by Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, in his hand, and such Bhagavan is resting on Adishesha, Thiruvananthalvan. That very tender bed is the resting place for Bhagavan, and in his left hand he is having Sri Panchajanyam. Just like that Panchajanyam, these obedient swans are very white in color. They are present. Nireganam Parandi Yerum Sengamalam Bayal. They are gathering in groups and they are all living on the reddish lotus flowers in the fertile fields which are surrounding the Tirukottiur, Dividesham, the Tirukottiur, Dividesham. One who is present, mercifully present in that Dividesham, Narakam Nasanai. For his devotees, he is eliminating the suffering of Narakam. Going to hell is eliminated by Bhagavan. Such Bhagavan, Navil Kondu Adayada, those who are not having that Bhagavan's name and calling him out, Manida Sadhiyar, that human beings, those who are born in this human species, Parugum Neerum Udukum Kurayum Kurayum Pavam Saidana Dankolo. Did their water, the water they drink, and then the clothes they wear, are they also sinful? Have they sinned? That is the question here. The deep philosophical concept is, there is a Shastra Vakyam. Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravishya Vyakaravani. Namarupe Vyakaravani. There is a Shastra Vakyam which says anything which has form and name, it has Jivatma in it, and in that Jivatma there is Paramatma. So whatever we see, so the concept here in this pasuram explained is, for those people who are not thinking about Bhagavan, they are not calling out Bhagavan with Bhagavan's name, those people who are born, whatever water they drink, whatever clothes they wear, even they have committed sin. Now, how can water or cloth commit sin? They cannot commit sin. So, it is to be understood that there is an Atma inside the cloth, which is worn by those who are not devoted to Bhagavan. That Atma, in previous Janmam, previous birth, has done lots of mistakes. Because of that, now that Atma is born as, is taken the form of a cloth, which is to be worn by this person who is not thinking about Bhagavan, not speaking the name of Bhagavan. So, anything which we see having form or name, there is an Atma in it. For example, there is this laptop. Inside that also there is a controlling Atma. But that Atma cannot do much. Only in certain bodies, like Deva body, celestial body, human body, animal body, and then plant body, and then bird body. In these things, there can be some reactions. Even that in plant body, reactions can be very minimum. In human, celestial, animals, and birds, the activities can be more because the senses are well developed. But in a cloth, the senses are not well developed. So the Atma is stuck there for a long time. But even those have some Atmas inside. Those Atmas would have sinned heavily, like we have seen before in some other place, that those people who commit physical abuse, they become born as plants, trees, and so on, because they have done physical harm to others. Now they will get a form which has minimum movement physically. And those who abuse somebody verbally too much, they get birth as animals and birds who cannot speak like humans. And then those who harm someone through the mind, they become they get forms where the mind is not working well. So these are explained previously. So even those clothes which we wear, the water we drink, everything, there is some Atma inside everything in it. That is why we offer everything to Bhagavan and then consume as prasadam to avoid these problems. Destroying another entity, even plants, even anything, if we destroy something, it will have sinful reaction. So when we cook even vegetables, when we cook even grains, even they have Atmas controlling them. So we should not just take them as it is, that food. That is why we offer that to Bhagavan and then we take that as prasadam, so that it's not sinful. But if we just take any food or anything for our own use, then we are harming the particular entity which is controlling it, particular Atma which is controlling that object. So that will cause sinful reaction. And also, in this case, periyAzhwAr is explaining that those who committed sins previously will get a form which has no reaction, which has no ability to express itself, and they will be used by or consumed by these people who don't have devotion. So even let's say if one is born as a uh, if one gets a cloth body, let's say, if that cloth goes and decorates Perumal, or if that decorates Alvars or Acharyas or Bhagavatas, then there is some goodness for that Atma, for that also. But if the same cloth is being given to or owned by some bad persons, then that Atma in that cloth is more sinful. So that is what is explained in this pasuram. Those who are not calling out Bhagavan by reciting his name, uh, whatever vastrams they wear, whatever water they drink, even they are sinful. It adds to more sins for them, but even that product itself, that item itself is sinful. So that is explained in this pasuram. Next pasuram, Amayin முதுகத்திடை குதிகொண்டு தூமலர் சாடிப்போய் தீமை செய்து இள வாழைகள் விளையாடு நீர் திருக்கோட்டியூர் நேமிசேர் தடங்கையினானை நினைப்பிலா வலி நெஞ்சுடை பூமி பாரங்கள் உண்ணும் சோற்றினை வாங்கி புல்லை திணிமினே. In this pasuram also, periyAzhwAr is very angry on those who are not worshipping Bhagavan. He is saying they are just bhumi bharam. Those who don't worship Bhagavan, they are just burden for the earth. And those who don't have that viveka jnanam, that is the ability to discriminate between good and bad, Atma and Achetanam, Bhagavan. So those who are not able to do this, they are just burden for earth. And periyAzhwAr says, you take out, if they are eating, let's say rice, you take out the rice from their mouth, you take it away, and then you push um, hay into their mouth, because animals which don't have this knowledge of discrimination, that is between good and bad, Atma and body, the animals don't know these things. For them, food is usually grass and hay, right? So here periyAzhwAr is saying, you push that grass into their mouth. Ila வாழைகள், very youthful வாழை fish. ஆமையின் முதுகத்திடை குதிகொண்டு, they jump on the back of the tortoise. தூமலர் சாடிப்போய், and then they go and stomp on the good flowers. தீமை செய்து, and then they cause disturbance to lowly entities. They are mischievous. விளையாடு, playing, நீரை, that is having water. Thirukotiyur, the Thirukotiyur is having beautiful water where the fishes are playing. They are jumping on top of tortoise and they are causing fear to smaller insects and other living beings in the water. Bhagavan who is present in such Thirukotiyur. Memisir Tadan Kayinanai. One who is having thiruvozhi, that is Chakrathalvar, Sudarshana Chakra, on his vast, expansive hand. Such Bhagavan. Nenaipila Valinenjudai Bhumi Bharangal. Those who don't think about such Bhagavan, they are purely burden for earth. Such persons, Unnu Sotrinai Vaki, taking their food away, whatever rice food they are eating, taking that away, pull the grass which is fed for ignorant cows and cattle, Thinimin, you push that into their mouth, says periyAzhwAr. This is 5th pasuram. Next, 6th pasuram. பூதமைந்தோடு வேள்வி ஐந்து புலன்களைந்து பொறிகளால் ஏதமொன்றுமில்லாத வன்கையினார்கள் வாழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் நாதனை நரசிங்கனை நவின்றேத்துவார்கள் உழக்கிய பாததூளி படுதலால் இவ்வுலகம் பாக்கியம் செய்ததே. Now, after explaining the nature of those who are not following Bhagavan, not following these devotional principles, after showing his anger towards them, in the next set of pAsurams, periyAzhwAr is praising those who are present in this Divyadesham where many good Bhagavatas are living. So the Bhagavatas of Thirukotiyur are now glorified from this pasuram onwards. Bhudam Aindodu, Panchabhutam, that is earth, water, fire, air, and sky, ether. Having all of these as forms. So in those forms as well, Aindu Velvi, Panchamaha Yajna, that is Brahma Yajna, Deva Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Pitru Yajna. So these are known as Panchamaha Yajnam. That is, we are supposed to offer our worship, offer something for Bhagavan, that is Brahma Yajna. Devatas, we have to offer something to Devatas. And then Pitru Yajna, for the Pitrus we have to do Tarpanam. For Deva Yajna we can say our Yajnas for Devatas. And then Pitru Yajna for ancestors. And then Bhuta Yajna for living beings around us, animals and so on. And then for human beings, Manushya Yajna. So these are different types of yajnas one has to do. So in all of these, by all of these, Aindu Pulangal, then Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, the 5 different aspects which are enjoyed. Aindu Porigalal, Pancha Indriyangal, that is 5 senses, eyes, nose, mouth, ears and skin. These 5 senses caused by them, Edam Undum Illada, not having any faults. Those Bhagavatas, those Sri Vaishnavas, Vankainargal, they are all very, very magnanimous. They are having very generous hands. Such Sri Vaishnavas, the place where they are living, Thirukotiyur, in that Thirukotiyur Divyadesham, one who is present, Nadanai Narasinganai, my Lord who is in the form of Narasimha. Such Bhagavan, Navindri Ethuvargal, those who enjoy and praise such Bhagavan and sing the glories of that Bhagavan, நவீன் ஏத்துவார்கள் உழக்கிய பாததூளி படுதலால். Wherever they step on the ground, wherever stomp on the ground, the dust with that relationship, இவ்வுலகம் பாக்கியம் செய்தது. This world became purified by the minute particles coming from the Bhagavatas. That itself will purify this whole world, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. So from this pasuram onwards, he is praising those devotees. In the previous 5 pasurams, he was very angry with those who are not worshipping those Bhagavatas who are staying in Tirukkottiyur. But now he is starting to praise those Bhagavatas who are present in this Dividesham. Next pasuram, குருந்தம் ஒன்று ஒசித்தானுடன் சென்று கூடியாடி விழா செய்து திருந்து நான்மறையோர் இராப்பகல் ஏத்திவாழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் கருந்தட முகில் வண்ணனை கடை கொண்டு கைதொழும் பக்தர்கள் இருந்த ஊரில் இருக்கும் மானிடர் எத்தவம் செய்தார்களோ. Those who are present in the town which is filled with many Bhagavatas, many devotees, what kind of penance these people have done to just even stay in that place where these great personalities, great Bhagavatas are staying. That is the theme of this pasuram. Tirundu, having clarity. Tirundu means clarity here. So having clarity of explaining about Bhagavad Swarupam clearly. Nanmarayor, the Sri Vaishnavas who are expert in all 4 Vedams. ஒன்று குருந்தம் ஒசித்தானுடன் சென்று கூடி ஆடி. The Krishna who destroyed the Kurunda tree, which was possessed by a demon or a monster. For that, Krishna broke that tree. Such merciful Krishna reaching him and praising his qualities and becoming immersed in it. Vida Chaidu, and then engaging in Utsavam for the Bhagavan in a divine form, in a Vigraha form. Doing all of this, Irapagal Yetival Tirukkottiyur. Day and night and day, people are performing Mangalashasanam and living in Tirukkottiyur. So, one Bhagavan who is residing in such Dividesham, Karundadan Mugil Vannanai. Dark, huge, cloud-like complexion. That is the complexion of Bhagavan. Towards such Bhagavan, கடை கொண்டு கைதொழும் பக்தர்கள், with huge humility, with very, very humble nature, they are joining their palms and performing Anjali for such Sri Vaishnavas. இருந்த ஊரில் இருக்கும் மானிடர், those who are present in that Dividesham, in that place, in that Tirukkottiyur, where Bhagavan is present eternally, and those who are residing in that Dividesham, those humans, those men, எத்தவங்கள் செய்தார்களோ, what kind of tapas, what kind of penance they did, I don't know, says periyAzhwAr. Just to be in that Dividesham where great devotees, humble devotees of Bhagavan is present, I don't know what tapasya they have performed, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram, Nalinda Seelan Nayasalan அபிமானதுங்கனை நாள்தோறும் தெளிந்த செல்வனை சேவகம் கொண்ட செங்கன்மால் திருக்கோட்டியூர் குளிர்ந்து உரைகின்ற கோவிந்தன் குணம் பாடுவார் உள்ள நாட்டினுள் விளைந்த தானியமும் இராக்கதர் மீது கொள்ளுகிறார்களே. Here in this pasuram, again periyAzhwAr is glorifying the residents of Tirukkottiyur because that is his abode. Nalinda Seelan Nayasalan, one who is having cool nature. Nayasalan, one who is not violating any of the niti, that is morality. Abhimana dunganai, one who is having great pride due to having been worshipping Bhagavan for ever continuously. Because of that satvika ahankaram, there is even this question that whether Sri Vaishnavas can have satvika ahankaram. Satvika ahankaram means it's pride only, but pride because of good things like being connected to Bhagavan, being connected to Bhagavatas, being connected to Acharya, being a little bit proud about that. Is that acceptable? A question was asked some time ago. For that, we can say that if we are in pure Sattvagunam, then it is acceptable. But if it is something which is a manifestation of our own pride, independent of that Bhagavad connection, then it is not good. So, Satvika Ahankaram can be held and manifested only if that person is purely Satvika. So, that is to be understood here. So, that Abhimana Tunganai, one who is having great pride of always enjoying Bhagavan. Naldorum Telinda Selvanai. Because of this, he is always having clarity in the Kainkaryam. The wealth of Kainkaryam he is doing. Such Selvanambi, Sevagam Konda. One who accepted such Selvanambi as his disciple or servitor. Semgan Mal, that is Bhagavan. Bhagavan accepted Selvanambi as his servitor. And that Bhagavan is having reddish eyes. Sentamarai, that is reddish lotus-like eyes. That is how Bhagavan is. And because of that reddish eyes, it gives a clue that he is very loving towards his devotees, the Bhagavatas. So having such attachment towards his Bhagavatas, Tirukotiyur, one who is present in Tirukotiyur Dividesham, Kulirundu Uraigendra Govindan Munam Paduvar. In this Dividesham, Bhagavan is present with a very cool heart, very happy situation. Such Bhagavans, beautiful, auspicious qualities, they are sung by Sri Vaishnavas in that Dividesham. For those Sri Vaishnavas, Ulla Natinul Vilainda Dhaniyamum. So wherever those Sri Vaishnavas are present, even the grains which are born, which are cultivated there, Irakadar Meedugollagilargal, these Rakshasas will not come and take that rice away. That whatever grains which were raised in there, the Rakshasas will not come and take them. They will not give trouble to Sri Vaishnavas, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. And in this pasuram, he is glorifying Selvanambi, who is his inspiration as well. Next pasuram, Kombinar Podilvai, Kuilanam Govindan Gunampadu Sir, Sembanar Madil Sul, Senkazhani, Sedungazhani Udai Tirukotiyur, Nambane Narasingane Navindrathuvargalai Kandakal, Empirantana Sinnangal, Ivarivar Endru Asaigal Thiruvane. In this pasuram, again, periyAzhwAr is glorifying Bhagavan's devotees. He says wherever he sees devotees of Bhagavan, he will become fulfilled, thinking these are all representations of Bhagavan. So I got to see Bhagavan today. So that is the theme of this pasuram. Kombin or Podilvai Kuyil Inam Govindan Gunampadu. The cuckoos, they are all living in the nest on the trees, on the branches. So such cuckoos, they are all singing the greatness of Krishna. Sir Sembon or Madil Soul. This Dividesham Tirukotiyur is surrounded by very good quality reddish gold, that is pure gold. And the forts are built using this pure gold. Such திருக்கோட்டியூர், செழுங்கழனியுடை திருக்கோட்டியூர். It is having beautiful fertile fields, well grown fertile fields. Such திருக்கோட்டியூர், one who is present there. Who is that Bhagavan? That is Namban. Namban means one who can be trusted as protector, Rakshaka. Then Narasimhane, who is that trustworthy person? That is Narasimha. Narasimha Rupi means half lion, half human. Up to his head, up to his neck, everything is human, but above it is lion. So having such Narasimha form, such Sarveshwara, Navindriyathvargalai, those devotees who bless, who glorify such Bhagavatas, kanda call, on seeing once, if I can see them once, ivar embiran thana sinnangal endru, I will identify that this person is Bhagavan's identity, this person is Bhagavan's identity, this person is Bhagavan's identity. So I will ensure that they are glorified in the proper way. Endru ஆசைகள் தீர்வன், whatever desires I have for a long time, I will fulfill those desires. That is to reach out to Bhagavan and serve Bhagavan and glorify Bhagavan's aspects. That is Kombinar Pudilvai, Kuilanam Govindan Kunam Padasir. This is the 8th pasuram. Sorry, 9th pasuram. Now 10th pasuram, very important pasuram, Kasinvaikaram. Kasinvaikaram விற்கினும் கரவாது மாற்றிலி சோரிட்டு தேசவார்த்தை படைக்கும் மண்கையினார்கள் வாழ் திருக்கோட்டியூர் கேசவா பொருளோத்தமா கிளர் சோதியாய் குரலாய் என்று பேசுவார் அடியார்கள் எந்தம்மை விற்கவும் பெறுவர்களே. PeriyazhwAr is making a declaration here, making a vow here, saying that those who are constantly speaking about Bhagavan, they can even sell me, they can even trade me. I am totally surrendered to such Bhagavatas, such Sri Vaishnavas, says PeriyazhwAr. Kasinvaikaram virkilum. Even if that handful of grains, paddy, is sold for 1 gram of gold, even if it becomes so expensive during famine or some other reasons, or battles or some other reasons, karavadu, without hiding whatever they are having, maru ili, not expecting any upakaram, that is any help, soritu, giving food for atithis. Atithi means those who came without informing. So for that atithis, soritu means giving them food. Deshavarthai padaikum, presenting great words of glorification. So having such generosity, those Sri Vaishnavas, world living Tirukkottiyur, the Tirukkottiyur Dividesham, where such great devotees, they are all present. Keshava, oh Keshava, Keshava means Keshi Hanti, Klesha Nashanaha, Prashasta Keshapasaha, and then the leader of Brahma and Shiva. So Keshava, Purushottama, one who is supreme amongst the Purushas. Kilar Sodhiyai, one who is having rising tejas. Kilar Sodhiya, one who is having rising tejas. Kurala, having Vamana Vesham, Vamana form. Such Bhagavan, என்று பேசுவார் அடியார்கள். In this manner, those Bhagavatas who are speaking, in this way, speaking those Bhagavatas who are speaking the names of Bhagavan, Endammai, us, all of us, Virkavum Peruvargal, they can even sell us, says PeriyazhwAr in this pasuram. Beautiful incident is explained to narrate this pasuram in Tirukkottiyur. Tirukkottiyur Nambi was residing in Tirukottur, but even before his time, Selvanambi was residing, as I first mentioned. This Selvanambi was a great Shivaishnava, and his wife was also a very great Shivaishnava. She has very good noble qualities. One time, many Bhagavatas come as yatra to Tirukottur. They all have darshan of Bhagavan and then they come to Selvanambi's residence. At that time, Selvanambi's wife was only there. Selvanambi was not there. So these Bhagavatas, they come and they request for some prasadam. So Selvanambi's wife goes and searches for rice. She cannot find any rice. So she looks around and there is this box of rice which is saved for subsequent years planting. They are all paddy seeds because subsequent years we have to continue this farming. So she has kept some uh, rice for future safety. So what she does, because she is not finding any rice for cooking, she takes that rice for next season and she cooks the rice and she gives prasadam to all the Bhagavatas. So that is how they will, the Tirukottur Divyadesham people will do. They will do anything for Bhagavan. So such aspect is shown here. Even at the cost of their own suffering, they will feed the Atithis, guests. So that is explained in this pasuram. Finally, 11th pasuram. Sidanir Pudesul. Sidanir Pudesul, Shedungalani, Udai Tirukottur. Oh, one more thing I missed in that. So, she gives the feast with the paddy seeds which are to be used for next year's harvest. Now, after that, the Bhagavatas leave. They have all left. Only Selvanambi's wife is there at her palace, at her place. And Selvanambi returns to home. And as he is casually looking at things, he sees that the paddy which is saved for next year is gone. Now he is coming and asking his wife, Selvanambi's wife, he is asking, what happened to that paddy? Without that, we cannot even do next year's harvest. At that time, this lady says, I have planted that seeds, paddy seeds, in the stomach of these Sri Vaishnavas, these Bhagavatas. Now this will yield us results in Vaikuntham. So we will go to Vaikuntham for sure and we will get the results there, says Selvanambi's wife. So both Selvanambi and his wife, they are very exalted devotees. They were totally helping others at the cost of their own suffering. So that is this 10th pasuram. Final 11th pasuram. Sidanir Pudesul, Shedun Karaniyoday Tirukottur, Adiyan Adiyarayum, Adimayindri Tirivarayum, Kodil Patraviran, Kulir Puduvaiman, Vittu Sittan Sol, Yedamindri Uraipavar, Irrigation Kalre. Those who are constantly reciting these pasurams, recited by this periyAzhwAr, they will become servitors of Rishikesha. The reason for Rishikesha Bhagavan is indicated here is Rishikesha is the one who controls all our senses. So if we are glorifying Bhagavan, we will also get sense control. We will be able to control our senses and keep them in check. So that is the result shown for this Padikam. Seedam Neer Pudesul, Shedun Karaniyoday Tirukottur Adiyan, the primordial Lord in Tirukottur Divyadesham, which is surrounded by many fertile fields and many water bodies, which are having cool water. Adiyarayum. So Adimesayum Bhagavatas. Those who are serving Bhagavatas. Those are known as devotees. Adime into Tirivarayum. Those who are not devoted to Bhagavatas and Bhagavan. And they are going around doing their own things. Kodil. faultless, Patrabiran, the leader of Bhattas, that is Brahmanas, Kulir Puduvaiman, very cool Sri Sri periyAzhwAr, who is the leader of Sri Villibuttur. He is the leader of Sri Villibuttur and is like the king of Sri Villibuttur. Vittu Chittan, that is periyAzhwAr, Sol, the mercifully spoken, these pAsurams, 10 pAsurams, Edamindri Uraipavar, those who are constantly reciting such Bhagavan without any fault. The pAsurams on such Bhagavan without any fault, Iridikeshanuku Alar. They will become servitors of Rishikesha, Bhagavan, says thAriyAzhwAr in the final pAsuram. சீதநீர் புடைசூழ் செழுங்கழனியுடை திருக்கோட்டியூர் ஆதியான் அடியாரையும் அடிமையின்றி திரிவாரையும் கோதில் பட்டபிரான் குளிர் புதுவைமன் விட்டு சித்தன் சொல் ஏதமின்றி உரைப்பவர் இரிடிகேஷனுக்கு ஆள்வே. So here in this padiham, Tirukottiur Divadesham is glorified, the Bhagavan is glorified, and the result of this padiham is that those who are engaged in this padiham will get to recite these pAsurams and serve Bhagavan in Vachika way, and then serve Bhagavan in physical way and serve Bhagavan in Manasika way. One has to serve in all different ways, and that result will be granted for those who are singing these pAsurams continuously. That is the final pAsuram. With this, the pAsuram comes to an end. We will continue on in the next session with the next padiyam. Alvar Thirudigale Sharanam, Embermanar Thirudigale Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudigale Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudigale Sharanam, periyAzhwAr Thirudigale Sharanam, Kanchi swAmy Thirudigale Sharanam. We are using Divyartha Deepika of Kanchipuram Prativadi Bhayankaram Annangaracharya swAmy. That is a grantham in Tamil. I am translating that into English on the fly as we speak. So with the grace of Alvar's Acharyas, we are able to do this Kaikariam. Hopefully, we will do it with minimum mistakes. We will continue on in the next session. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் மல்லாண்டு திண்டோள் மணிவண்ணாவும் சேவடி செவிதிருக்கா படியோமோடும் நோடும் பிரிவென்றி ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாயின் விளமார்களில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆழியும் பல்லாண்டு படைப்போர் புக்கும் முழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டு.